Hey everybody, I'm just getting set up here. All right, give me a second. Seems like there's always a little bit of a delay, and that's okay. All right, let's see. Okay, I think we're all good. All right, good to see everybody tonight. So I wanted to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about just basically just want to give you sort of an uplifting message. And I know that a lot of people are feeling, overwhelmed right now, but hopefully a lot of teachers are starting to hit their stride. So why don't we just go ahead and get started? Okay. So one thing I want you to think about are decisions when I go through this presentation. Okay. So out of all the decisions that you've made in your life, which one do you think is the most important one? Well, I'll give you a hint. It's the next one, right? When you're feeling overwhelmed, it's because you're thinking of all of the problems and trying to fix them all at once, right? We just can't do that, right? So of course it's overwhelming. But again, to keep things simple and to keep things focused, the only thing that we need to focus on, when we've got a million things going on, is the next step that we take, right? So the question I have for you is, what will you do today or even tomorrow that will make your day a little lighter, a little better? What will you do to take control of your life, regardless of the situation that you're in, right? And what will you do to serve your students in a more meaningful way? What will you do? What's that next step for you? I want you to think about that. The key, honestly, in making it through all of this without all the woe is me's and all that, right, is that we take accountability for all that we are and all that we do, right? Total accountability for that. So the next insight from that we need is to understand that teaching is hard, right? And it's always been hard. It's always been, difficult and challenging. And, in my opinion, it's easily, right, one of the most intricate careers where literally everything that you do, not only does it matter, but it matters in a big way, right? Yes, it's true. With other jobs, everything matters, but not everything matters in the same way that everything matters in teaching, right? And that's, honestly, why so few people can do it and why, partly you should be commended, right? Each step that we take builds on the next one, and it can impact everything from the success of our students to their motivation to everything, right? To the problems that we might have, the conflicts that arise. I mean, literally everything that we do impacts everything in a huge way. So, everything from the words that we choose, our tone of voice, our body language, how long we spend on a task or activity in class, and most definitely our ability to read our students' emotional signals. All of that matters in a big way. It's truly a job like no other, right? But the key is understanding that none of that has changed. That's the way teaching has been, right? And it's like that now, and it's been like that since teaching has existed. So really the next question that we have to ask ourselves is, to what extent, am I contributing to my own state of feeling overwhelmed and anxious? And to what extent am I amplifying any negativity in my life? Because I know a lot of people are feeling overwhelmed right now. So we have to really be honest with ourselves and take a serious analysis of our situation and say, to what extent am I contributing to this? And to what extent am I amplifying these problems, right? And so just to kind of close this out, the key really in this situation, I've found this helpful for me, is that the key in this situation is to remain completely open and completely humble, right? Ultimately to be teachable, right? The best teachers are the ones who are teachable, right? So essentially it's like being like a child, to be like a kid, right? And what do kids do when they're in a challenging situation? Well, some of them, when they are struggling with something, they go to someone when they need help, right? We can do the same, right? And it's best not to go to someone who's going to allow us to indulge in any kind of unproductive behavior, but truly to go to someone who can help us, right? Kids also ask questions. They ask a ton of questions, and they are incessantly curious about what they don't know, right? And with this virtual learning thing, there's a ton that we don't know. So could we be asking more questions? Again, what's the next step? What's the next decision that we're going to make our lives better, our teaching better, everything better, right? And so just the last thing I want to bring out is remember that in teaching, in really anything, but especially in this environment that we're in now, those that will thrive, yes, there'll be a lot of people who survive for sure, right? You know, they'll do okay, they'll make it to the end of the year. But those that really thrive and will thrive are those teachers who are the most adaptive, right? And it's been that way ever since I started teaching. So anyway, if you want some support or you need help with any of that, feel free to book your call with me. It's in the comment section of this. I think I can post it in here. There you go. Post it in the chat. So if you need help with that, just let me know. And I hope that you guys have a great day. See you later.